The celebration of Mario Bros Galaxy Super Mario Galaxy, which I might see Thursday if I can. I'm watching Super Mario Bros, the movie, live action movie, from the early 90's, I believe. So I believe it's the early 90's, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so this is the movie, the live action one. Most people don't know what this is. Most people, and some people do. Some people know John Leguizamo. He's been in a lot of different movies. He plays Luigi. And he's Luigi Mario, and he's Mario. So yeah, I might do a little review or recap review if I haven't. I don't know if I've done a review on this or not, but if I did, probably do a recap review. I need to research if I have or not. But Super Mario Bros. The live action. So the movie I'm watching so far for the celebration of Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, the Super Mario Bros. So far, for my rewatch, I'm towards the end, almost towards the end, towards the middle, towards the end. This movie is still kind of weird, not as much as good as the animated one, but me rewatching this from the last two times. The last time I made a video on this, so I made two videos on it, part 1, part 2. You can't go wrong with this movie if this was the only introduction you had. Now, if you go bypass the animated movie that they made with Chris Pratt, and then the new one they're making with Chris Pratt and Charlie Day and Charles Bambino as Yoshi and Fox McCloud with Glenn Powell. Look, if you go bypass the movie and this is the only one you watched and this is the only one you've seen and this is the only one you care about with John Leguizamo and Bob and Dennis and here, then this is your only introduction and this is the only one that you care about, then this one is pretty much what you love. And Yoshi in here, live action, as you can see there, not that bad. I love the live action Yoshi. Now the Yoshi, the new one, is so much better. King Koopa in here don't make sense, where they're fungus and all that stuff. There's things in here that I'll go brief into the other review I'm about to make, but Mario and Luigi getting their costumes towards the end always bothers me. It's kind of like Power Rangers 2018, where they get their suits at the very end, and you see that they have their powers, and they're learning their powers and stuff there in that movie, but then they get the costume at the very end, and they're learning how to use their Zords, right? This is the exact same thing. They're learning how to put on the suits and learning how to use the little bomb they showed in the middle of this movie, and the missile for their shoes, and different things, the mushroom where Luigi's like, oh, there's mushrooms here, blah blah. The fungus is trying to save us, which is also Princess Daisy's father, and I'll get into more of this stuff, but Princess Daisy not being aware that she's a princess and all that stuff, it has a lot of weird elements to it. But again, this movie has its fun, it's downs, it's fun, it's downs, it's good, it's bad, it's ugly.
Last name? Mario. Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's 3. It's Mario and Luigi Mario.
Mike! Up these Marios around the side. Prepare to be eliminated. I'm not going in there. All down. What is this?
Morning, I was watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie from the 90's, and I was at the point where they got their costumes, and their costumes are basically workers on the bottom level of King Koopa's building, like engineer uniforms, but it's different looks, and I'll go into more detail in the actual review, like a full length. And then he meets up with his girlfriend named Daniela, which I have a friend named Daniela, which was now, but back then I originally watched it, didn't have a friend named Daniela, but now I do. I would think that would be Paulina, or like, you know, Princess Peach, or Princess Toadstool, which is also Princess Peach, but it's not. And then he rescued those missing girls from Brooklyn, because those missing girls from Brooklyn. And then Luigi's on a mission to find Daisy. He ends up finding Daisy. They get split apart, and then King Koopa wants to get the little shard of a meteorite that she wears around her neck. He kind of gets it from his lover that he arrests, and then like Yoshi tries to help out Daisy with Luigi. It's all over the place, but that's what I saw this morning. But it's a very interesting movie. This movie is very fun and interesting, but it's also gets some things wrong from the video game, and that's what it is. It's right and wrong and all these different things. So it's a mixed bag. In the early 90's movie, it's a mixed bag, but I can't wait to see the new one, because the new one I heard some good things about and some other not so good things about. But it's always going to be a mixed bag when it comes to Mario. We turn those things in the movies.
What percent is that? I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. But it's not good. If we get it wrong one more time, he's gonna kill us. He's not gonna kill us. He's not that nice. It's her. I sense her. I definitely know it's her. Mason Bridge. Mason Bridge. Right. Dan. Dan. Dan.
Now, does this guy know his stuff? What does this guy know his stuff? I'm telling you.
Okay. You ready?
Say when.
Let's go. Now. Well, he's just an amateur.
Mini review before I do a full review on this movie. Another thing for Mario is live action is that they get wrong. Is that Luigi's the more exciting, more excited, more eager to do things, and Mario's always afraid. No, Mario's not afraid when it comes to a plan that he puts together in his own mind, like in the shard bag from Big Bertha. That's literally what the character's name is, which is not even a character in the video game at all. And then when he faces up King Koopa at the end. But when it comes to doing dangerous stunts and all, he becomes a fraidy cat like Luigi in the video games. And Luigi is more like Mario in the video games, all eager to do things. So it's kind of interesting and weird, but it's not the Mario and Luigi that you know of. It's a little bit different from what you know. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this one, and I'll do a full review. This is Yoshi in the live action Mario movie.
Okay, awesome. Welcome back to my channel.
And he
This
looks
is gonna be like a review,
like an actual dinosaur
review, but
that he should be.
this is for
But
the
in
Super
reality, in
Mario
the
Brothers,
cartoon,
for the Super
cartoon video game, he
Mario
is a
Brothers movie from
dinosaur
back
that
in
has
the
a shell.
90s.
He's
This movie
a
had lot
T-Rex,
of
mini
things
T-Rex with a shell on it.
going
But
against
this is
it.
what Yoshi looks like.
This says coming out in May. I just use this background because it's cooler and different. But um Look, you have John Leguizamo, you have this guy named Bob playing Mario. Mario in here is confident in Brooklyn, but when it comes into the Mushroom Kingdom, not so much. He turns into Luigi from the video games and from the animated movie that's also out currently right now. And then Luigi over here is like Mario, very confident, like he's in the video, like Mario is in the video game, and also that. So it's a different way of looking at life of this movie. Um, Princess, there's only a Princess Daisy, no Princess Toadstool slash Peach. There's Mario's girlfriend's Daniela, I think. It's usually Paulina, or even in the current new animated movie that we have out, it's Peach he likes. So it's just this movie has so much going for it, but also something that's such much not going for it. Like they didn't understand like this is a rewatch review because I already talked about it. They didn't understand the concept or the simple mechanics of the original video game. Um, they had some Easter eggs here and there. They had like they had mushroom, they had the little bomb you wind up, the missile that you put in some of those little um those little blaster boots there they had. And those are not even in the video game. You know, a character named Big Bertha that gives them those boots. She's not in the video game. They don't get these costs. They don't get their Mario and Luigi looking overall suit. Because looks like their classic overalls, but reversed. They don't get their classic suits till later in the movie. And this is a poster that they said it's coming in May, but they don't get that till later in the movie. You can only imagine. You can only imagine what people saw when they saw this poster right here originally, the other one behind me here, where they're in gray. But when you saw this, you can only imagine how exciting how you can only imagine how excited that people were to see those reverse of the overalls, but not get till the very end to the movie almost. Once they get into King Koopa's building, and King Koopa was supposed to be his browser, obviously, but he's not much of a threat either. It's kind of funny to see a guy that has blonde hair that looks like Lizard, and then act like a dictator, which was very hard for him to do, I can see. Um, and John Leguizamo, or whatever you call his name, he's in different movies. He's also in the John Wick franchise. It seemed like he had fun playing Luigi. The other guy playing Mario didn't seem like he had fun playing Mario, and it's just a very different tone of things as well. Um, Also, I just don't think the production and Nintendo, well, I don't think the production company back then even understood what Nintendo was trying to do. And Nintendo doesn't even like talking about this movie either. That's the weird thing about it. Like they promote Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Galaxy, right? That's out right now. But this one probably back then got promoted, but they don't talk about this. This one's written out from history. But like I said, they had mushroom, the wind up bomb, the middle missiles, the put in the shoe. That's about it that you get for references. You get Yoshi. Yoshi's in here, but he's an actual T-Rex, mini T-Rex. The Koopas don't look like they have in the video game, where they can look like mushrooms or turtles, and they're not that. They're just big giant lizards. They have devolved machines that devolve people from mammals to dinosaurs to Jurassic to be straight up stupid, and then Koopa gets his cousins and makes them smart, but when he makes them smart, they're still dumb. And Daisy didn't know she was from this world until she got to that world, and then King Daisy's father, which is the king, turns to fungus, and the fungus was helping Mario and Luigi the whole time. And when they get arrested, that's my favorite part. When they get arrested, then I'm gonna put this in this video, editing it when I'm done with this certain video right here. Um, when they get arrested, what's your name? Oh, my name. What's your name? Mario, and Luigi Mario. How many Marios are there? There's Mario, there's Mario, and then there's Luigi Mario. I'm like, you guys couldn't even come up with a name for them, the last name for them. They don't even have a last name. That's the thing. Mario and Luigi don't have a last name. It's the funniest thing. Um, Also, me rewatching this, like the way they did Mushroom Kingdom is like upside down New York, Brooklyn, and they mention Brooklyn a lot. But that's also where like Captain America's from, and and a little bit upstate, there's Spider-Man and Queens. But they pay a good homage to it in the animated Mario Galaxy movie. Comparing this to what we have now, the two new ones, this one doesn't hold a candle. This one used to hold a candle, but I can see why it doesn't hold a candle now. But I can see why this movie was also not that popular back then because people saw the success of Ninja Turtles. And I'm going to go riff on here real quick. Saw the success of Ninja Turtles and those rubber suits, and they thought, well, let's do the same thing, the same type of flavoring and seasoning for Mario here. That seems to work. Their pizza pie, the turtle pizza pie has been getting eaten. Let's make sure we get some spaghetti and meatballs for these guys since they're Italian. Um, let's make this movie exactly like that one, and they couldn't. They tried, because this is the early 90's, they tried to relive the success of something that was popular like Ninja Turtles, and Mario was popular too. And it was all the rise, but it wasn't. Like, not a lot of people talk about this. I'm probably the only one on here on YouTube that talks about this one. And I rewatch it every single time because like I laugh at the things that they don't get right. And like it's unique and different. Like Toad is a human being going against Koopa and he gets turned into a Koopa. He gets turned into a Koopa. Um, and they make him really, really dumb. And this decisions that like King Koopa makes and Mario and Luigi make, and like Mario in the world of the Mushroom Kingdom, he's supposed to be positive. He's not positive. He's supposed to be like all through adventure and go, but he's nervous, and Luigi's the one that's like ready off for adventure and everything like that. It's kind of interesting how it's flipped around. In the very beginning, he was afraid to even ask Daisy. Luigi was afraid to even ask Daisy out in the very beginning of this movie. But also, they had a rival plumber um, company called Spespelli's Plumbing Company. That was interesting to me because the animated movie just showed them being plumbers and not have a rival. They actually have a rival here. That's the only thing I can see that was they did right is Mario and Luigi had a rival because they had Mario their own personal plumbing business. And then they get arrested for being plumbers when they get into the Mushroom Kingdom. It's very different, very unique movie. Then when they go to the nightclub, Mario's wearing like yellow like Wario and he's Luigi's wearing red. I mean, you could have if you really wanted to do that, you could have gave him purple and you could have shown off like Wario Luigi, or something like that, like hint that. And they also worked with the Koopa cousins, Spike and Izzy to for the nightclub scene. But like even when they became smart, they were helping out people, and that was also different because like they were trying to help Koopa, but they switched around. It's different, and then we finally seen King Koopa at the very end getting devolved into what he's supposed to look like, a dinosaur. Um, and then he turns into goo. There's a lot of things I can talk about this, and I already talked about it probably a whole bunch in my other review. But the thing is, The reason why most people are like, why would you go back to this? Because it's funny and it's unique and different. I asked a coworker, have you seen this? Because we talked about the new one, Mario Galaxy, and he told me that was more about Peach, and it is. Um, but I asked him if he saw this one, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. It's his words, a piece of crap, a piece of trash. Like it is, but or a crap. But this movie is just funny because they get things wrong. Anyone that sits here and watches this movie, you can sit there and be like, I used to play this, and this is the wrong interpretation. But is it entertaining? Yes. This movie is very entertaining. And I can see why in the early 90's that someone might have, some Mario fans might have went to go see this and was either happy or disappointed. They probably had some of them were disappointed, some of them were happy. And you had regular casual moviegoers going like, this was fine. Now, I would love to see this have an anniversary in the theaters like Ninja Turtles did, a Secret of the Ooze, like Secret of the Ooze did, or Ninja Turtles did. Ninja Turtles 3, no, I don't need that one, but I would love to see this have its anniversary in theaters. Like they're gonna have Shrek coming out for their anniversary. Why not this one? This is the only one that does not have an anniversary. It has Blu-ray, but doesn't have an anniversary. No one, like I said, no one talks about this one. No one even cares about this Mario movie. I shouldn't either, but it's been a part of my life since junior high when I saw it first time on a TV screen when it was the end of the year, school year, going on the summer, and it was like, what is this? And then I found it at Walmart. No, I found it at Target on DVD. Not Target, no, I'm sorry. I found it at, I think it was either Kroger. Yeah, Kroger, I found it when I was working at Kroger on DVD, and it was just hey, why not rewatch it? I rewatched it for the first time on DVD, and then I kept on rewatching it to see it would get better. And it doesn't get better, but it just gets more funnier. Um, the Koopas like music as well, because Luigi sways them in the elevator, and that's a big deal to Koopa and all that. But it's just a lot. This movie has a lot, and I can talk about it all the time, but. I already talked about it twice on here, and this is a rewatch review, and I have other videos I talked about it, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff from like actual video clips of this movie to show you what it is. So for now, this is the end of this review. Hope you enjoy this one. I do have the Super Mario Galaxy first showing because I probably want to see it again, and a third showing. Um, but if this one had some people in it, like besides Daisy and Mario's girlfriend Daniela, you have like Fox McCloud or Zelda or I mean Link from Zelda or something in the wheelhouse of other characters in here, just a little cameos of the ones we had, they'll probably be more interesting. But anyways, if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces.
Well, I must say, we have a very exciting proposal. A video game based on your many adventures. What would you call it? Iggy's World.
Indomitable Spike.
The Super Koopa Cousins.